everybody.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
We've got our tea and coffee, and yeah. How's everybody doing this morning?
Yeah, it's a great day here so far. We've got a lot of snow.
I know, you guys, we woke up to like 6 inches of snow this morning, which kind of unusual for the Pacific Northwest. I mean, we get snow once in a while, but this is pretty much our week of winter, I think.
Yeah, every February for like this is the third year in a row we've been getting snow in February. So it's cool that way. It's a little interesting because growing up we got a lot of snow and then it stopped, and now we're getting snow again.
I know, it's so weird, but I mean, it's beautiful, but it also is going to rain again by Monday, so we're like, well, at least we can get back outside.
I know, yeah.
Just a quick
So,
snow.
if you don't know, I'm Sean. This is Allison. We're
Morning.
Spoken Garden. Yeah, good morning, guys. It's our live Saturday video here. So
I was just going to say, sorry to interrupt. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. We were kind of running around getting everything ready today.
We had some mic issues going on, so hopefully you can hear us. Things are going good. You know, make sure, before we get into stuff today, before we really start talking about everything we're going to talk about today, make sure to say hi in the chat area and let us know where you're from.
Yeah, we'd love to know and what zone you're gardening in. What are some of your favorite, or maybe a good question, like what are some new things you're growing this year that you're really excited about?
Yeah, totally.
That's always fun to talk about.
Yeah, and if you're watching this in the replay, make sure to comment in the comments section below.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. So it's Saturday. It's
I know,
the 13th.
we've got some fun stuff today. We are going to be talking about tropical plants today.
Yeah, tropical plants. Got some questions to go over. The video audience questions from YouTube, you guys. We're going to talk about. Then also some garden project updates.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the videos that we had this past week, and then a couple of announcements.
Oh, we've got some fun announcements today. That's right. And we have some products to show you that we're excited to kind of share with you, I guess, would be a better way to say that, because there's some pretty cool gardening products that you might not be aware of.
Yeah, big surprise.
Yeah.
We can tease it a little bit. If you've never heard of Garden Like a Girl.
Oh, yeah.
By Mary and John. They're out of Oregon. They produce specific ladies' gloves.
And we're going
to show you. We've got some with us. They were nice enough to send us a brand new pair, so we're going to talk to you about those.
Yeah, they're really comfortable. I like them a lot.
And we really like John and Mary too.
Yeah.
So
we'll get to that a little later. Good morning to you, Sherry. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, Sherry.
And everybody else who's joining in, again, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're here.
Yeah, it's okay. Just say hi.
And questions. We should probably get into that,
Oh,
right?
yeah, well.
We're moving a little slow today.
Yeah, we need more coffee. I need more coffee.
I need more tea. Yeah, but anyway, it's been a good week. Hopefully you've had a great week wherever you are living and whatever weather you're incurring right now, because I know there's a lot of storms going on in the Midwest and the East Coast.
Oh yeah, they're getting you guys are getting snow out in those areas, and a lot of cold weather. So especially down south too, they're getting a freeze. So
I know.
Yeah, everybody stay warm, stay safe.
Warm. So we had some awesome, as always, questions and comments and things that rolled out this past week, and a few that we're still kind of catching up on from the previous week.
I know.
But we pulled out a few that we thought would be really helpful to everybody, and also they were just kind of fun. So first question. Okay. So Claire Campa asked, and this was on our Primrose Plant Chat that we aired last Friday. So a quick side note, every Friday, Sean and I, we film a video about a different plant in our yard somewhere. And we highlight it, we talk about its features and how to grow it, how to care for it, and any cool facts about it.
Yeah, lots of uses for them, what to look for. It's every plant specific on every episode, so it's fun.
It's really fun. We love it. And last week we did Primrose. Yesterday on Friday we did the Erisima Winter Orchid, which is gorgeous.
Beautiful
so if you
plant.
haven't ever heard of that plant before, check out our video from yesterday, which unfortunately, I'm so sorry, we posted that really late because we almost forgot to post it. So I think it went out.
We got excited about the snow.
We did, actually. That's exactly what happened. And I think it went out at like 10 o'clock, and it was like oh crap, we haven't posted our video yet. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to this. So Claire Campa asked, regarding primroses, do you cut off all those damaged leaves? If the leaves of your primrose are yellow or if they have holes on them, should you cut them all off?
Great question. Super great question. So if you go watch the video too, you'll see some of our primroses are looking top notch, super healthy, beautiful blooms, and others, they got kind of attacked by the slugs.
They got attacked.
Yeah, they literally got eaten and you know, some of the leaves are completely gone. Some of them are like half gone. They got notches out of them. There's also some discoloration because they might be older leaves. Also might be some nutrient stuff going on. So that's a great question. And so looking at those, there's a couple different ways you can approach that. And if your primroses are in those conditions, or under those conditions right there on their leaves, you can, one, leave them there and let new leaves develop naturally and let the plant grow those new leaves out before pruning away those damaged or discolored leaves. Now, there's the other line of thinking on it where you might want to force the plant to actually produce those new leaves like right away. You're just like, I want it done now. So what you do is you go in, you don't wait for the new leaves to basically come and develop on their own. You force the plant to develop those new leaves faster by removing all the damaged leaves or the discolored leaves. And what the plant's going to do when you do that is it's going to force it to say, oh, I need to photosynthesize. I need to still take in that light energy for me to survive. So I'm going to push forward with all this new growth fast, and I'm going to produce new leaves. And usually those are healthier leaves. They're brighter green. So it's one way, that's one way to do that.
I feel like that's a little bit of a gamble though, right? Because if you remove all the leaf matter, then what's photosynthesizing, and how does the plant get any nutrients?
Well, exactly, and so, it's not, and so it has to, you put it under stress, you're putting it under unneeded stress when you do that, but for whatever reason, you want the plant to look nice and lush and green fast, or faster than it would if it just naturally did that, and then you could, it would naturally produce those new leaves and then remove the damaged or discolored leaves. Lots of coffee. Just remember, when you prune those out and you're forcing a plant to do anything, let alone produce new leaves, you're putting it under stress and it's going to react accordingly. So it might produce those new leaves fast, but you could have other issues too. So keep that in mind.
A great question. Thank
really
you for asking
question.
that, and let us know if any of you have any other questions about primroses. We have a ton around our yard. We love them.
Yeah, we do.
We grow them in the ground. We grow them in containers. They're just a great winter blooming plant. They just provide that needed pop of color.
Yeah, and that texture, that color. They got those crinkly green leaves, and ours kind of bloom year round.
They really do here. We've had them all year, like fall blooming, summer blooming. As long as you have the right care, or they have the right care, and they're in the right environment. And
in our maritime environment, they do really well here year round. So
that's pretty.
Besides the slugs and snails.
Yeah, I know, which we didn't get to in time this year. So next question. Do you want to? We wrote these down because we'll never remember.
Yeah, there's too much going on in our brains for stuff. Okay, so from Larbrularum,
Okay. Sorry if we mispronounced that.
Yes, and sorry for butchering that. I'm sorry. You asked, what if I never trim and let grow every year and stay in, say, a 5x5 area? This was in reference to pruning our pampas grass. So in pruning pampas grass, what if I never trim it and I let my pampas grass grow every year and let it stay in a 5x5 area? That was the question. So that was one of our daily episodes, and that was episode 79. That was a really
that was a while ago.
Yeah. So in that episode, we were pruning a client's pampas grass, a couple of them, and we basically put them into balls. We trimmed them down about half with manual and powered head shears, and so that's what that episode's about. So to trim them back, so to never trim them back, that's okay. If you don't want to ever trim them back, just know that they'll continue to grow and they'll be healthy, because in the wild, that's what they do. That's what they do in their natural environment. So they might look a little ratty. You're gonna have some of those grass pieces, some of those blades get kind of wind whipped over time. Their ends on them are gonna get a little frayed. You're gonna have diebacks. So, but if you're okay with that, you like the natural look, it's totally awesome. Now, if you want to keep it in a 5x5 area, that's so 5 feet this way, 5 feet that way. That's a pretty small area.
Those are big
They
plants.
get huge. I mean, literally, most of these plants get huge. And so it's going to be hard to contain it in a 5x5 area. That's a lot of square footage. It's 25 square feet. But for this plant, it's not that big at all. It'll outgrow that eventually. So there's a couple things you can do. If you want to keep it in a 5x5, you need to place it in basically like a concrete, like 5x5 concrete planter.
Oh, okay.
And that'll keep it contained in that area, more than likely. Now, these plants, these pampas grass, they spread by seed really easy. So when their flowers come up, and you see that feathery flower up there is blowing
It's
around.
so pretty though.
It is. They're gorgeous. Once the flower starts throwing out the seed, those little white pieces, the feathery pieces, once it starts throwing those out there, those seeds are really viable and they will pop up under the right conditions. It'll pop up and it'll create a whole new plant. So it can spread that way too. So keeping it in a 5x5 one plant, as long as it's like concrete, something like that, that's okay, but realize that the seeds are going to spread. Now, you can always take one of those plants and divide it. That is possible to do, and trim it back. Make sure it's at least probably, I want to say 3, 5, maybe even 7 years old, because you need that base. It grows from a crown and it grows out, and eventually it'll grow a dead area in the center of it, what we call a dead area. It's a non-growing area, and the plant just keeps growing from the perimeter of itself and keeps spreading out. So once it gets that way, you can cut it in half, or there's a couple other ways to do it, but you can basically just take that, cut it, and then remove that, and that's how you can keep it contained too. But now you got 2 plants instead of 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but good question.
That's interesting.
Really good question. So.
Okay, moving on.
moving on.
Regarding winter seed sowing in plastic bottles, which we did a week ago or so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but Slinmon100 asked, do you let these winter jugs, do you let them sit out in the rain at this stage? Like after we've planted them, do you let them sit out?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
and that's actually
absolutely.
what we did. And you'll see in our video, you'll see, and a couple other people's videos out there in the gardening world that produce videos on this too. They did the same thing. And you can totally do that. It's fine. What you need to make sure and do though is know your plants, know what they need to germinate, the conditions they need to germinate, like temperature, how much sun, water, and make sure to know that stuff before you create these small little greenhouse jugs to grow your new seeds and new plants in. Because if you don't have those right conditions for the plants to even germinate or grow under those conditions, you can set them out there. You can sow them in those things and set them outside and leave them alone. They might not do anything until the conditions are right. So you need to still provide those basic things for any plant and their needs to germinate and grow. So, but yeah, I think one part of this was, do you keep them inside? Do you put them outside? You can put them inside. We could take ours and put them in our little greenhouse. We could bring them inside and put them on a windowsill or under lights if we wanted to. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the space you have. I mean, for us, we want to keep them outside. We're growing coneflowers, we're growing black-eyed Susans. We want them to grow hard and, kind of be sturdier. They're going to be germinating outside in their own little mini greenhouse, right?
Yeah.
So most people have reported that, they tend to produce tougher flowers.
They do.
So that's exciting, right? So
do.
that for us, that means like we want to keep them outside and try it.
It's almost a forced evolution where the stronger seeds will germinate, the stronger seeds will grow, and they will survive. And that's the type of plant you want, you're going to get. So this is one way to kind of force evolution and kind of select those plants out, which is cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So great question.
Yep, great question. You guys.
We've had a lot of, there's a lot of interest right now, of course, in winter seed sowing and just getting seeds to germinate. And we've been running a little series of what's called YouTube Shorts. If you guys, a lot of you probably watch them already, but if you're not familiar with it, YouTube, I think we mentioned last week, they kind of are competing with like TikTok or even Instagram Reels, or it's a 60 seconds or less video on YouTube, and it's a very quick like snippet of a fact or a tip or something.
Yeah, we try to make them fun, but we also try to make them some type of educational value for you guys, because we still want to let you know what's going on. We want to give you quick wins.
We want to teach,
Yeah, we want you to be successful, and that's why we started doing those. So.
And for real, like they're way harder to make and produce than any other video we've ever made.
They really are.
Take like a huge concept like seed, germinating seeds and how much moisture they need, or what kind of, planting depth, or the one coming up this week, we'll give you a little heads up, is about light. So what kind of, light, I mean, take all of that info and condense it into 60 seconds or less. So it's really,
it's a challenge.
It makes you talk really fast.
But it's fun.
But it's really fun.
Really cool. Yep.
So, okay, moving on. So Dana Hoover, who's a great audience member, asked awesome questions. So if you're out there, good morning. Yep. Same video, winter seed sowing in plastic judge. Where do you find straw flowers? One of the plants or seeds we planted out there was straw flowers.
Yep.
Can you get them outside the internet? Like I'm assuming she means at like any kind of greenhouse, nursery, garden center type place. So where did you find straw flowers, and how can you find them not online?
So we found them. We've actually found them online.
We did.
Botanicalinterests.com. They have them. They don't have them now.
I know they're sold out.
They're totally out of them.
And Florette Flowers has they have a beautiful selection of straw flowers, all sold out. Which makes me think she probably didn't sell them this year. I'm wondering. I don't know for sure, but they, due to COVID, they really restructured their storefront because they just have such a lack of. They want to keep everybody safe, and it was they really scaled down all the bulbs they're selling this year and a lot of the seeds. So that could be why.
Yeah, supply is limited.
Yeah, supply is limited.
So Alice and I were talking about this, and at our local nursery, we have Watson's Nursery.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Super great place, great plant selection, awesome. By the way, plug there.
I know.
They have a botanical interests display. I mean, it's a huge display just for botanical interests there, and so they carry those botanical interest seeds. We didn't actually look for. We were there earlier this week. We didn't look for straw flowers.
I know, and now it's like I want to go back.
I know now it's like we want to go back. But put on your blinders. Don't buy anything else.
Oh,
don't buy anything else. So we're telling you this because they could be at your local nursery. Your local nursery could have a display of botanical interest seeds. So we want to let you know that, and go out to your local nurseries, especially if you're in like phase 2 or a higher phase of safety, to go out and be among other people and be in businesses. Don't hesitate to go out. Don't be afraid to go out and at least try and find those seeds, because they are out there.
There are definitely other companies that grow straw flowers. I don't know what else.
But you know what? Actually, too, if you can't find botanical interest seeds at your local nursery, ask one of the people there that work there and say, hey, I'm looking specifically for straw flower seeds or straw flowers themselves, because if you can find a start already, if they're going to have them come in later on, they've got that scheduled, they can let you know that too. And then, you'll have your straw flowers. So it doesn't hurt to ask, even a phone call, if you don't want to physically go, give them a call. Yeah, totally.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the last one?
Yeah. So this is a comment from Chris McGowan.
This is awesome.
This is the comment. It's great. Genuinely lovely people. Thank you. However, being that happy all the time is quite suspicious, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you are amazing gardeners. Thank you again.
I love those comments.
Seriously though, I've grown to love this channel, pun intended, haha.
I know.
And look forward to future content.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for saying all that.
Thank you, Chris.
And I love the comment about being happy all the time, because we are not.
You're not
I mean,
happy all the time. No.
Maybe on camera. I mean, that's not true. Sean and I are genuinely very happy people. We made big changes in our life by leaving our previous jobs to get to this point, though. So every day is just like a joy.
We literally do this every day, all day long.
We love it.
This is what we do. We don't have regular jobs right now. It's an interesting part of our lives. So, but to say that, Chris, and hopefully there's more people that feel the same way. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is our genuine selves. Yeah, we're not happy all the time. There's always creative differences, other things going on in life, and you can't be happy all the time. That just wouldn't be normal. So, but yeah, we always try to put our best foot forward for you guys, though, and be as excited and happy for you when we're talking with you.
I know, and it's just we just genuinely are loving what we're doing. I mean, it just goes back to
we
both are teachers by nature. We love just being available to help people, and we want more of that. But of course, COVID put a big damper on our plans overall for leaving our jobs and moving forward. Wow. Some of you might know we wrote a book last year, and the publishing date keeps getting delayed. So that's a huge bummer because we just want to get our book out to everybody, but it just got bumped another month, so it's not coming out until April 6th.
April 6th, sorry guys.
Sorry,
if you bought the book, it's getting pushed back. Logistics and shipping and all sorts of things going on. So
a huge bummer, but still, we're so like, we wrote a book. I took the photography or took all the pictures. Like, we're so grateful for
very
everything.
Grateful, blessed.
And I feel like
it's amazing.
That really contributes,
Oh yeah, we wouldn't have been able to write the book if we hadn't have taken all this time, left our jobs and taken all this time to do all these things and these videos and talk with you guys. We wouldn't have been able to do any of this.
Or just every day, just feel so blessed. So we really appreciate that comment. And it made us laugh because it's just like, oh yeah, we kind of do come off as, I mean, we're always happy. Like, we're not going to lie about that, but you know, I mean, we're normal people, but thank you so much for watching. We're really thankful that you're here. I don't know if you're watching today, Chris, but thank you for that comment.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
super
we really
awesome.
appreciate that. We have a couple people that jumped on. So good morning to Real Genie. Hey.
Hi, Real Genie.
How are you doing, Real Genie?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Real Genie, did you get the pruning shears that we sent you? I can't remember if we asked you about
December, January, something like that.
Yeah, let us know if you got those.
Please.
And Stroming53, or Strom, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Strom.
But we've definitely interacted with you before. Good morning. How are you doing? Really good question. So, which plants would you recommend a new gardener not start from seed?
Oh, interesting.
So, are you talking about just like going to a nursery and buying like actual immature, you know, like more like seedling or small plant sizes to add, right? Because I mean.
Yeah, I guess that's a great question.
That is a good question.
And there's some finicky plants out there. Yeah, like a lot of the vegetable types of plants, if we just categorize them either as flowers or vegetables,
that makes
types
sense.
of plants. Most of your vegetable plants are going to be super easy. They've been selected.
Yeah,
they've
that's a good
been
point.
bred for that. A lot of the flowering plants have too. Excuse me. Some of the seeds out there, nothing really comes to mind as pretty much hard to germinate, to grow, but any seeds that you have to, if they have a really thick seed coat on them, so you know the outside part of the seed where then you got to get into the inner part of the seed. If they have a thick seed coat and it's really hard, some of those seeds require soaking, or you have to what they call scarify or cut into them to basically get past that hard seed coat to then let water penetrate through when you sow them for them to get to germinate. So there's that part. You know, geraniums come to mind because they're very susceptible in all their different stages of their growth. Geraniums and a lot of other plants too, now that I think about it, are very susceptible. Well, they're very susceptible to botrytis, and that's a nasty disease, and it comes from being too wet. So there's plants out there that even when they're germinating and the seedlings are popping up, they're very finicky about how much moisture is around them at any given time. Like geraniums and some other plants that have botrytis issues throughout their whole stages of all the stages of their lives. If it's too wet, they're going to get botrytis and they're going to die. Once they get it, they're done. I mean, you can put a fungal solution on it. You can try and take care of it that way, but that creates more stress for the plants. So, and anyway, sorry, too much detail. But yeah, geraniums are a little hard. Nobody really does those by seed, I think. A lot of people get the starts.
Yeah, I usually buy those already, like as immature plants. So I was writing something down. I got an idea for us to talk about later. But there's so many plants. So you go to a garden center. I'm thinking of some of my friends. Okay, they don't have time really to get out in the garden, but they really want to have beautiful plants in containers, or you know, they have a balcony garden or something like that. But they can't keep anything alive. My sister comes to mind. She can't keep anything alive because she loves them. She thinks plants and flowers are beautiful, but she often forgets, you know, to take care of them.
Well, she's busy.
She's busy.
She's got 3 kids.
Yeah, she's so busy.
Grandkids.
I mean, she's crazy busy.
Just like a lot of you people.
So I'm thinking, what are some plants that we could recommend for new gardeners that, you know, don't really take a lot of care? I mean, as long as you put them out, and one of the main things I think, not main thing, but a lot of people don't, they don't realize that either their plants need like full sun or they need shade. You know, they might buy a plant because it's beautiful, but then they don't put it in the right environment.
Yes. Because
I mean, there's so many plants you can just really kind of neglect and they'll still grow and be beautiful. You barely even have to deadhead them, or at all. I mean, plants that don't require a lot of care that'll just keep reblooming. And the garden industry does keep producing and breeding plants and flowers for this reason, because people are busy. They want pretty things, but they don't really want to care for them because they don't have time.
Well, they're so busy. They're looking at their phones. They're going to their
everybody's
jobs.
busy.
They're
So I'm thinking of reblooming like cosmos. Cosmos are super easy to grow. They really don't require a lot of care. You can care for them and make them even better and prolong their growth, but like you don't really have to. As long as they're in the sun, they pretty much just do their thing.
Zinnias.
Zinnias are another great one. Oh, we love zinnias.
Oh, all kinds.
And cosmos.
Oh yeah, cosmos.
We're big fans of anything in the daisy family, pretty much. But zinnias.
Yep, zinnias. Sunflowers.
Sunflowers. I mean, pretty much all your garden variety daisy family members.
They're super easy.
They're so easy.
Cone flowers, blanket flowers. Those are easy to care for too, because they actually they're very drought tolerant once they get established.
That's what,
So but those are perennials. The zinnias and cosmos are definitely annuals.
Right.
Sunflowers. So. Yeah.
So, and there's so many more. We would love to chat more with you about that if you want us to, want about some ideas off of this, because this is kind of our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
We could just talk about plants and flowers all day.
Oh yeah, we could be on here all day long.
But we won't worry you.
Fun. Yeah, but great question.
That's such a good question.
Great
and
question.
It looks like the answer was really helpful.
Awesome.
So, yay. So again, let us know. Just email us at SeanandAllison@spokengarden.com if you have any specific questions. We'd love to help.
Yeah, we'll get right back with you.
And then I have to read this. Real Genie, I told you on here I was going to read this out loud. So we were talking about the comment about being happy all the time. Okay. So Real Genie says, wrong. Things can be positive. We can change anything. All is not lost.
Awesome.
There is hope. You can be positive all the time. The sun is always out. And yes, he got the amazing shears. Thank you. So yay, we love that.
And Real Genie, we agree 100% with you.
Totally 100%.
100%.
And Real Genie, we love your positivity all the time. Like, thank you for showing up and just being positive, and because that is what we're like too. So we really appreciate that. So thank you for all of you for the questions and for being here.
Thanks, guys.
So yay. Okay, so halfway through the show, we just got through our first segment of question and answers. You guys, we got to talk about tropical plants today. We are kind of obsessed with them a little bit, almost as obsessed as vertical gardening ideas, which we covered in last week's live. Tropical plants. How do you make your garden, no matter where you live, how can you make it look more tropical?
Yeah, and you might be surprised the different plants that are available to you in your zone. They look super tropical. They grow in tropical areas, but they will grow in even non-tropical areas. We're in a temperate climate here in the Pacific Northwest, Zone 8B, if you know your zones. But some of these will grow in even Zone 7, Zone 6, Zone 5, and even lower.
Zones.
I mean, it's amazing where they will grow and outside, but they're still a very tropical plant. So we're going to go over some of that today. It's really cool.
And I think there's also the trick where you can kind of create that tropical look, but then maybe bring it inside in the winter, fall and winter, right?
Yeah, if they're
Keep things in containers.
Yep, if you do the container gardening, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
You can also modify your garden outside for different microclimates in a couple different ways. You can't really change a zone 3 to a zone 8 per
much
se.
as you want to.
I know, as much as you want to have that better growing conditions environment. It's that kind of extreme is pretty hard to do outside, but from one zone up or down or whatever, there's little things you can do.
That's fun.
So
it's fun to think about.
So with that,
we're excited to talk about this with you guys, and we encourage you, if you're here live with us, what are some tropical plants what are some plants you think of when you think of tropical?
Yeah, I mean, do you think of palm trees?
I know.
I know, me too. Are you thinking, big flowers that you don't see anywhere else, like Hawaii or Fiji or even the Bahamas? I mean, what do you guys think about?
What do you guys think? Or we're really kind of also obsessed with very bright colors this year. We love, more subdued colors as well, but we're kind of looking at plants and flowers to add that are very bright. We're talking like orange and hot pink and yellow. And
I think a lot of gardeners go for that too, because they want that, that instant gratification of really bright flowers right from the start of spring or even the end of winter.
I know,
so,
the Erisima and winter orchid.
I know, yeah. So we're this is gonna be exciting to show you guys today.
Fun. So let us know if you're watching later in the replay. Just drop any comments or any ideas in the comments.
Yeah, totally, guys, totally. So without without further ado, let's get into some tropical plants. So, now, these are some tropical plants.
I love all of these.
I mean, they literally are grown in tropical areas. They can be. And so, they look tropical too. Yeah. And I guess the hibiscus is truly, there's tropical hibiscus, but this one isn't really a tropical type of hibiscus, but it still has that tropical hibiscus look right there on the left hand of the screen. And you see those zones there, 6 to 9.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That is great. I mean, because Allison and I, we think of hibiscus, and we think automatically of Hawaii.
Maui.
Yeah, Maui, because it's all over the place. People plant it as hedges. They plant it everywhere. It's great. And so, but this specific hibiscus, it grows in zones 6 through 9. I mean, we're in that zone.
I know.
And we're like, we can have something that grows in Hawaii or that looks like it grows in Hawaii here in our climate. Sweet.
I know. I'm so excited. We're looking into some hibiscus shrubs right now that we can add, and they're just so beautiful. So there's ways. We'll talk in a minute about some design ideas for hibiscus.
Oh yeah. Well, and other plants too.
And tons of other plants. Mm-hmm. But there's an option for sure.
Oh yeah. So in the middle of the screen there, you'll see for tropical plants, False Dracena. Now we've showcased these. We planted them directly in the ground. We have several actually in our yard, and we've got them not only in the ground, but we've got them in pots, and they're great.
They're doing really well. And what's interesting is, as you see there, it's zones 9 through 11. We're zone 8B, so we're right behind that, and ours are thriving. Yep.
Yeah, they're in our zone. They're considered, the ones we have are considered temperennials. They're temperamental perennials. But we put them out there, and they're doing great. They'll be a year old this March when we planted them, and we actually made one of our first videos for the dailies. Was us this last year in 2020 was us planting those and some other grasses out in our yard. So if you wanted to watch that,
I think it was like day 8, 7 or 8.
Yeah, it was really cool. So, but they're doing great, and so I mean, you can put these in your yard. They grow really well. They don't take a lot of care.
They really don't, you guys. This is an easy one. So back to Stromy 53. If you want a fun tropical plant that really doesn't require that much care, maybe think of a False Dracena, because we'll show you some pictures in a minute from our own yard so you can get some ideas.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
The one on the right there, elephant's ear.
Yay.
Now, this is a really cool plant, you guys. Yeah, Colocasia esculenta, zone 8 through 11. Needs moderate water, yeah. Full partial sun. But this plant is actually a bulb.
Yeah.
It's a bulb, you guys. Isn't that cool?
It's really cool, and they're huge bulbs too. Yeah. This is one that we'll definitely be adding to our yard this year for some different areas to add interest, and the huge, just tropical looking leaves, and yeah, the fact that we can grow this in zone 8 is pretty dang cool.
I mean, it doesn't even look like, I mean, you wouldn't go around and see this anywhere. You wouldn't think you would, but you can. I mean, it's super cool. So.
Yeah. What do you guys think about those? We have some more plants to show as well, but we just want to kind of separate them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just all slides all the time.
I know. But what do you guys think about those? Like, are you growing any of those in your own yard? Do you have any recommendations for other gardeners? Let us know.
Who here likes hibiscus?
Yay.
Hey. Oh, too far. Okay.
Definitely love hibiscus. I was just thinking, as we're talking with you guys about tropical plants, I'm like looking out the window. It's totally dumping snow again. So and maybe it's snowing for you guys. It's like it's kind of ironic to talk about tropical plants when we get a huge downpour.
But the cool thing is the tropical plants we just showed you, those 3, they'll grow in these conditions with snow. I mean, it's cold enough to snow here, and they'll still grow here. It gets down to 30, 25 degrees at night. Right now, it's getting down that low. They'll be fine out here. They're zoned for this. They're going to be perfectly good just zowing under these conditions. It's super cool.
We're a little concerned about our False Dracenas just because they haven't incurred any snow yet. So we're kind of babying those a little bit. And
it's still trial.
The ones in the ground. The ones in our containers, they've been going strong for years.
Yeah, they've been out there a couple years with snow and freezing, 15 degrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones in the ground, brand spanking new, haven't had them a year yet. So we're still a trial period.
And okay, so to jump into the chat for a second. Good morning, Andrea B.
Good morning, Andrea.
Really cool idea. I love this. Thank you for sharing this. So she said, speaking of tropical, Andrea once saw an empty tiki torch planted with some bright orange zinnias, and it was gorgeous.
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
Wow.
So
I want to do that.
I know. Zinnias, right?
Yeah,
and orange. We love orange flowers. Like, orange is so cool. We don't have a lot of it around our yard, but it's just like so bright and fun.
That's a great idea.
That's such a fun idea. I love that.
Nice, Andrea. Woohoo.
Oh, and Sherry Osborne said, here in Los Angeles, hibiscus is everywhere. That makes sense to me.
Totally.
In garden, in pots, Mandevilla, which is one we're going to mention too, is a good tropical plant. And
awesome.
she said she has both. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, so lucky.
And several palm trees.
You're killing us.
There is a palm we can grow here. There are a couple that we can grow here in Zone 8B that will overwinter and do fine. So it's kind of a luxury up here for us, for people in the Northwest, to have palm trees. You know, you don't really think of that.
One of them's a windmill palm.
Windmill palm.
And it's super expensive though for even a tiny plant.
I mean, they charge ridiculous.
This is like $100 up here. Yeah. So.
I know. So
it's crazy.
We do want. They get big though. I don't think we have room in our own garden for that.
No, we don't.
I love that.
But that's
and I was wondering, Sherry, what color hibiscus do you have? You have to tell us.
Yeah. We want to know.
We saw, gosh, I don't know if any of you follow us on Instagram, but a year ago we posted a whole string of photos from Maui because we went on an anniversary trip right before COVID. By the way, we got home like mid-February.
It was just before the outbreak.
Just before the outbreak. So wow, but we were on a hunt for flowers. Of course, we went to tons of botanicals, gardens, and
farms.
Found hibiscus in just about every color you can think of. And we learned that yellow is actually, I believe it's the Syriacus, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but is the state flower of Hawaii, the specific yellow one. And it's not really found, it's hard to find in the wild apparently anymore. So I thought that was interesting. Wow. Stromy53 just ordered elephant ear bulbs
good job.
from Eden's Brothers and used the Spoken Garden coupon. And I love that because I was going to mention that because Eden Brothers has a ton of elephant ears, and that's where we're going to order ours from too.
So many other bulbs, tropical looking bulbs too.
That's so cool.
They carry a very interesting selection of plants.
They have some good stuff actually, and I would recommend all of us get on that before they all sell out.
Yeah, right.
So head to Eden Brothers. We have a coupon. You know what? I'll drop that in the chat. I need to get the little code. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's Spoken.
It is Spoken.
The coupon
Here,
code
I'll
is
find
just...
let me get the link.
So guys, while Allison's finding that, basically what you do is you go in there, get your plants, put them in your cart, and then we want 15% off, off your purchase. When you get into purchasing, where it says coupon code, type in Spoken, and you'll get your 15% off your whole purchase. And so Eden Brothers, super awesome. They've partnered with us to be able to offer this to you guys. So take advantage of it. Go there, get some new stuff, get some seeds, some bulbs.
Here's our Bitly link, you guys. It's coming out.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, like you said, it's 15% off your entire order. It's not just like a couple things. I mean, it's like if you have like a huge order of, as we usually do, 15% can make a pretty big difference.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's tax and then some for a lot of us. I mean, up here, our tax right now is like 10.1, 10.2% sales tax. You might have something similar out there. Well, that 15% takes care of that and then a little bit more, so it's worth it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I missed this question earlier. Stromy53, are cannas tropical? So canna lilies are actually on our list coming up.
They look tropical.
Technically, I don't think they are. They are a bulb. They grow in zones that you wouldn't really think that they would grow in, and they can tolerate some partial shade.
Yep.
So there are some beautiful varieties of cannas that have been kind of bred to look more tropical, like the Tropicana cannas.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yes. There's been a ton of breeding too. So maybe natively they were native, their native environment. They were found in a tropical area. But even though, so this is the interesting thing about plants.
Love that question.
Super good, great question. Things about plants is that even though they're found in tropical areas, they've been discovered in tropical areas, that doesn't mean that they can't be grown anywhere else. Plants have an unusual ability, a wonderful, unusual ability to have, to be able to grow in many different environments, even though they were found in one specific environment. It comes down to their adaptability, it comes down to how they evolved too, and so they might still have from when they evolved from millions of years ago, whatever, they might still have those genes to give the trait to actually be able to grow in wintry conditions like here, where we can have cannas, callas, and a whole bunch of other, even elephant ear plants. We can have all of those here. And it's these plants that, yeah, you might have found them in Hawaii or the Amazon, or you might have found them in Florida or something, but they still have those abilities deep within their genetic traits to be able to adapt and grow in different conditions than where you actually found them. So,
love that.
Yeah, plants are amazing.
And again, that comes back to a little bit to like, and you can modify the environment a little bit, right?
Yep.
Kind of trick it, or
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I'm writing great questions down that we can pursue later for you guys. I saw that there was a comment, but it looks like it got taken away. But there was a question like, can you make a planting video? And I was like, oh, we will. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, we already made one of Canna. I'm assuming it was Canna Lilies.
Oh yeah.
So you know, you guys, that was last May or June when we were just starting videos. So we kind of look back on our old videos and we're like, oh my gosh, why are we?
Yeah, we were a little bit more robotic. And we didn't have, all the structure down to get our point across really well.
I mean, we're still working on that. Videos hard, but we've hopefully gotten a lot more comfortable and a little more used to being on camera. So
we think we're getting better.
I hope so. I think we are. But if you want us to update that, which actually that would be a fun update type video, maybe something with Canna Lilies. We also did a video in the fall about transplanting Canna Lilies bulbs. Or we remember we separated them and we planted them.
Yeah, we took them out of the pots that we actually had them in, and we literally thinned all this massive.
Tons of them.
I mean, there's just like
so
my
cool.
God, like 7 or 8 of them, and we just pulled them apart and then plant them around the yard. Now we've got like 7 or 8 different areas where they're going to have cannas coming up.
I know. I hope
we never would have thought about that.
I'm really excited to see them. I feel like you can never have too many, so. Let us know if you have a specific kind of question or thing in mind that you want us to cover on video, because we always love trying new things.
We also want to be audience driven. We want you guys to ask us to do things so we can help you. I mean, that's why we're here.
I would love that. So we'll definitely add some Canna Lily. We'll brainstorm some ideas for that. If we don't.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we haven't even got to the design slide yet. We haven't.
But tropical plants.
We're having some this is just tropical plants. Just bring up a lot of
So here's 3 more tropical plants we wanted to show you before we get to the design and uses of them.
So speaking of Canna Lily, there it is.
There it is, right there on the left.
So we say full sun, but they can tolerate some partial sun.
Yep.
So that's what's pretty cool about cannas is often you'll find them online at different retailers as a partial shade plant. Partial sun, partial shade, and it's kind of interesting, but they probably would do better in full sun though.
They would, and depending on where you live and how intense the heat is there off the sun, in full sun, it might be better to give them partial shade during the day. I can tell you, we can tell you from our experience having them out in our yard, even in pots, they were in full sun for at least 4 to 6 hours during the summer, and then from the morning time till about noon they were in full shade, and then they went into full sun. After that, until about 5 or 6 o'clock, and then they were in shade again, and they did great.
I know they
did. They thrived.
They were gorgeous.
They had a mix of sun and shade. So
moving on, we mentioned Windmill Palm. That's a fun one. That's one we can grow here in Zone 8, and you can see that goes up to Zone 11.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Or you could probably have some type of miniature one if you. I mean, they're going to get big, but you could keep it in a container inside probably, and have it more of as an indoor plant, right?
Totally. And lastly, there on the left, or on the right, hostas.
Oh, hostas.
Come on, who doesn't like hostas? And you might not know this, guys, but hostas are a bulb. They're actually a type of bulb.
Love hostas.
Yeah, and these are beautiful plants. Mostly full shade, some partial shade ones out there, but mostly full shade. But look at that range of where they can grow. 3 to 9.
I mean, that's cool.
That's crazy. And they do look tropical. I mean, they're just a big honking leaf. They look like they belong in the Amazon. That's what it reminds me of.
They do, and what I love about hostas is they are full shade plants. They do not want to see any sun. I mean, maybe a tiny bit through the day.
Well, there's some
filtered
varieties.
Light, right?
Yeah, and there's some varieties that'll tolerate partial sun.
That's true. They may be bred that way.
But yeah, it's mostly full shade, and as Allison said, they love it. We've got it underneath our dogwood tree and a couple other trees out in our front yard that are deciduous during this time of year. But they still thrive under these conditions. It's great.
I love hostas. So that's a fun one. We've got some ideas for you guys. We can show
totally
a couple slides here.
So here's our first slide of some ideas with these guys. And
so yeah,
no, go ahead.
No, like Sherry was saying, hibiscus is kind of all over the LA area. A lot of tropical, and of course we've seen it in Maui. We've seen them in shrubs. You can see that bottom left picture there is they're used in a container.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It's got some different layers to it.
Don't they climb too, or am I thinking Amanda Villa now?
I'm not exactly sure on that.
Can't remember, but
yeah. If you guys in the chat, if you know of a climbing hibiscus, let us know.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's so many different plants out there.
Plants. I know.
So, yeah, these are just some examples of how to have the plants out in your garden, whether in pots, in containers, mixed pots, maybe solo pots of the plant, and then even in the ground. You can see our false Dracaena, or temperennial there on the far right of the screen. That's one of our false Dracaenas, and I think that might have been taken in the fall, looking like with some of the
I think that was this fall.
Some of the leaves around it falling on the ground there, but yeah, I mean it's doing great. It's doing really well, and yeah, so you can put them even in the ground.
I'm trying to think that one picture. I can't. What was it from our book? I think, wasn't it?
Which one?
The false Dracaena with the my grandpa's old little frog.
Second on the right there.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is that. Yeah, that was from that was one of the pictures we took for the book, but we didn't include it.
Right, but it's similar.
So that was a fun one.
And then at the bottom in the kind of the center shot there, you can see elephant ears in a container, which I think that'd be interesting because they get so big.
Yeah, they're named after an elephant's ear. That's huge. How big they get. They resemble an elephant's ear.
It's amazing that they wouldn't outgrow. I mean, that pot almost looks too small. It could be the angle. That came straight from Eden Brothers, by the way. That picture.
Oh, cool. Right on.
I found there.
Right on.
So yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. So a couple things in the chat here, Sherry. We love this. She just ordered hostas and coleus.
Sweet.
So great options. Hostas will come back. They should.
Yeah.
Coleus, obviously an annual. You could maybe get them to overwinter.
In our area, in our climate, it's annual. Maybe where you live, it could be a year to year. It could be actual perennial.
That would be pretty. I know that'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be awesome.
And they could just grow and really get into their mature width. And I'm so jealous. You have 2 plumeria trees in pots, Sherry.
Sweet.
That was another Maui favorite.
Oh yeah, they were everywhere. Those plumeria trees were everywhere.
They're so beautiful.
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
So that is really fun. That's a great.
To have those.
I don't know much about the growing needs for plumeria, so I'm adding that to our list too.
We might be able to grow it here.
I like the idea of having it in a container. That's a good one.
That is. That's really
cool.
So
we're gonna look into that because it's just those beautiful little flowers.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun because those are like what they use for a lot of their lei making in Hawaii, and they're just those beautiful little. I think they're 4-petaled flowers, or are they 5? I can't remember either, but they're so pretty.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I believe I thought there was one more slide of ideas.
So we have. Oh,
sorry, you guys.
So that's the
that one.
Showed that
this
one.
one.
There we go. All right. So yep, some more pots, some more potting ideas, container ideas, but also right in the ground. So.
I know. I mean, so on the left there, the 2 pictures, top and bottom, are both Canna lily ideas, and I know the top one you can't really tell. That is a gorgeous color, by the way. Oh,
so bright, beautiful.
I think Proven Winners has a coral colored Canna lily. I'm really interested in that for us because it's kind of just such a different color. Oh,
and just to throw in here, guys, our local nursery, Watson's, down the road here, they have their cannas. They have the bulbs, all these different kinds of bulbs for planting this spring to flower in the summer. They've got them all laid out now, ready to sell.
I know.
So if you're looking for any of these spring planted summer flowering bulbs, check out your local nurseries. They might have them available right now or coming up soon. So, yeah, and you want to jump on that because there's probably, just like the seeds, there's going to be a run on things this year because everybody's gardening.
Everybody's gardening, and even more so now. And we have some announcements coming up about that, by the way. So anyway, those are some fun ideas.
Yeah,
the Hostas Do Bloom, by the way.
Yep.
They have beautiful flowers that come up, and Sean could explain this better, but they come up on a single stem with multiple.
Most of them do. Most of them have their own flower stem. that's different, that's separate from the other leaves that come up from the crown of the bulb. So it's really cool to see those. And what we're describing right now are the pictures on the far right side of that of this slide right here that you're seeing, upper right and lower right. Lower right, it's those variegated white margined green, inner green leaves right there. And then also in that one picture, lower right picture, it's the upper left-hand corner. That's a hosta too. So yeah, they're very versatile. They have a lot of different colors. Some almost look blue and teal.
I love those blue leaves.
Others look almost yellow with the regular leaf colors. It's just gorgeous.
I love their foliage. I think that having an area where you just have nothing but hostas, kind of in a shady under a tree area, I love that look.
Yeah, and they're great filler plants too. I mean, you can fill in a big area with just a couple of those plants. You know, in a couple of years, they really fill out. So
I love that. So if you're, if any of you are growing hostas, let us know. And Sherry, we're excited for you.
Yeah,
keep us posted on, what you're, I don't know, what you're growing, what kinds you're growing.
Yeah. Well, anybody
hostas.
out there.
Yeah, well, anybody. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Of course. So that's kind of it for tropical plants. We just want to kind of get the creative juices flowing a little bit, and we learned that plumeria, mandevilla are other great options if you can grow those.
Yeah.
I also thought tuberous begonias.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's a shade lover, isn't it, for the most part? Depends.
It depends.
Yeah, partial shade.
Some like partial shades, some like more sun. But yeah, these are all examples that we wanted to show you guys, because if you're like us, you're home, you're gardening, and for the foreseeable future, it's not going to change. You want to enjoy your outside garden more, especially your backyards. And what a great way to do it than to bring tropical looking plants into your garden to just give it that different feel. And it's almost like you're creating your own vacation. It's a staycation, but it's not. It's
a tropical oasis. And I think another design thing that I think we'll try, a design tip would be, if you're not sure, you know, maybe it's just a one season thing for you, plant them in containers. And a lot of them are annuals anyway.
They're treated as annuals.
Right? So, I mean, that's something you can trait, you know, you change out year to year. So.
Yeah. And even if you put them in containers, like Allison said, which is a great idea, if they're not super hardy in your area, but they'll grow during the spring and summer and maybe even a little bit into the fall, put them in the containers and then bring them inside.
Bring them inside.
If you have an atrium or a plant room or somewhere, like even like a greenhouse to hold them over in the winter, just still have the plants and enjoy them as much as you can, but then bring them in.
I know. I think we'll probably try a couple of those things. And then you can always say, oh, I love this so much, I'm going to put it out in my landscape, if you can.
Yeah.
So lots and lots of options, you guys.
So,
and even better, you can use your vertical gardening ideas that we talked about last week. Grow, you know, climbers and the vining, you know, type of plants like mandevilla, and I'm sure, you know, there's lots of others. Clematis can sometimes have a tropical look. So kind of combine the two trends together. Lots of ideas, you guys.
Totally.
That's fun.
So with that, we hope that was helpful. Hopefully you got some ideas from that. Now we want to move into some project updates.
Just a quick one, but before I go, or before we jump, I believe it was Stromy53 wants us to, or had a great suggestion about us filming and our planting of elephant ears and the care maybe later down the road and some updates. So
yeah, we can do that.
I love that.
Awesome. Great idea.
Great idea. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
So,
project updates.
What projects are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys doing right now this time of year?
Or inside, maybe, because it's bad weather.
Yeah, we're coming up. It's definitely in the middle of winter. We're getting to the end of winter. Spring is on its way. What kind of projects are you doing? Anything coming up on the horizon? Big plans? We want to know.
Yeah.
So,
So we we don't have a ton to report, but we wanted to show you and share with you guys our kind of the evolution of this big project that we've started in the last couple weeks here.
Yep. This is the terrace project, and we broke ground earlier this week. That's one of our videos that we'll share with you here. But right now you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, upper left, that's what it looked like before we removed and had a demo day of that wishing well. That wishing well is probably over 40 years old, and it was looking so bad. It was starting to lean a little bit, and it was getting to be just something we didn't want to look at too much anymore. So we ripped it out. We want to replace it, but right now we had to remove it anyway to start breaking ground and to build our terrace project in the backyard. So Yep, so that's out of there. You can see down below that on the left hand, the lower picture on the left hand side of the screen. That's what it looked like cleared out. That's what it looked like without that wishing well and all the plants in the pots right there. And so it really changes. It's amazing, one little thing that's either removed or moved in your garden, it can change that whole area, the look of the whole area.
I know. I mean, look how much more space there is now. And now we can actually, and as you notice on the right side, that's more of an update, like Sean said. We started breaking ground, and you can really start sort of visualize seeing it come together and what the blocks are going to look like and the different levels. So
yeah, and on the right hand side of the screen, that bigger picture, that's actually where we dug down and we started cutting into our ground for the first layer, the first level of the lower terrace wall. So that's the start of that. Sorry, it's not a little bit further out. We wanted to show you what's going on, but we'll show you that a little bit later, later on, maybe next week or something. But yeah, we're excited to start that.
We're really excited. We've got a lot of plans coming up with that. We'll share more with you as we get more deeper into it, I guess.
We've got some little teaser plant sponsors we're working with to add plants to that area. So
maybe, hopefully, yeah.
So pretty cool, pretty exciting.
We'll totally share that with you when we get.
Okay. So that's it for us on our project updates. Anybody have any project updates?
No project updates yet. Okay. I mean, we're just all excited about plants.
We're excited about plants.
We just love tropical plants right now. I know.
So now, today's the 13th of February.
I know,
guys.
I almost forgot.
So tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yay! Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of different.
There's lots of different versions.
Or just, I don't know.
Yep,
enjoy your garden day.
It's a day to. It's just a day. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. Okay, so in lieu of almost Valentine's Day, it's Valentine's Day Eve. We wanted to show you heart-shaped leaf plants.
Look at those. Oh.
Aren't those beautiful, you guys?
Now, the funny part is we took all these photos, but we can't remember what they all are.
This was like a year or so ago.
Some of these have been over. Now, the most recent one is the very top dead center picture. That came from a Cyclamen.
Yep.
Cyclamen have the most beautiful little heart-shaped leaves. They're just so sweet.
Yeah, and this one right here, it almost looks like it's a heart within a heart.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, you've got the outside part, the full shape of the leaf, and then on the inside with that darker green, it actually looks like a darker green heart within a heart.
That's beautiful.
So, yeah.
Now, the top left and the bottom middle, I believe, are both different types of caladiums that we took at a botanical center, or a botanical garden. The top right is from a geranium.
Yeah, that's a zonal geranium.
I know, that's cool. It
really
just
cool.
kind of randomly grew this heart-shaped leaves. They don't usually have.
Yeah, it's like heart-shaped, almost clover-like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can use that for. We can use that also in St. Patrick's Day.
We can reuse it. I love that. Now, I believe the bottom left is from an anthurium.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And we think the far right came from a morning glory that we found in eastern Washington. There was this beautiful morning glory. Sean's shaking his head no, though, so that might not be where it came from. We can't remember. It doesn't look right.
No, the flower is a little bit different from morning glory.
Where did I take that?
Morning glories usually don't have that big of a space in the anther.
Huh.
In the middle.
Well, that one's a mystery,
okay.
but it's cute.
Okay.
It's almost a perfect heart, and I remember taking it.
It's so beautiful and bright.
I just don't remember when.
Whatever it is a beautiful heart-shaped leaf.
I know. So, yeah. Heart-shaped leaves, you guys. Can you think of any other plants that have heart-shaped foliage? I know there's a lot of indoor plants, right? Like the heart leaf philodendron, that's one that everybody loves.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah, that'd be fun to have. We don't have a lot of room for indoor plants, so that's kind of a bummer for us.
And we don't have a lot of natural light coming in.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
So, yeah.
Someday we'll have, more space for that. But
let's take out a wall.
Just take the wall. We don't need the wall. We need more growing space for plants. Yeah. That's what you do when you're obsessed with your garden like we are.
That's right.
So that's kind of fun. So again, happy early Valentine's Day. I don't know, we forgot. I forgot tomorrow. We don't really celebrate that. So
no. Well,
it's just another day.
In the world of COVID, things are different.
Things are different.
So with that, we wanted to tell you about that. Now we're going to tell you, we wanted to show you some of the videos. If you missed any of the videos from this last week, we always do a video roundup on our Saturday Lives now to let you know what we did.
Just a real quick.
Yeah, just a quick overview. So, so last Sunday, it was the winter seed sowing in plastic jugs.
That was fun.
That was really cool, you guys. We never tried that before, and we know it's kind of a trend going on, so that was good. We wanted to try that out. And then next on that Monday, we did a short on seed sowing,
Oh, yeah.
winter seed sowing, and what's up with planting depth. Why is that important? Why should you care? And so that was a fun one, and it was quick because it was a short. So then after that, we had a winter plant protection. What we're doing out in our garden to protect our plants with like 20 or below degrees temperatures.
Well, it was in advance of this huge snowstorm we're getting today.
We had a huge cold front move in from the Fraser Valley up in Canada, and just moved right down and just really got really cold.
Yeah.
Next up was our DIY terrace breaking ground. That's what we were just talking about, showing you those pictures there a couple moments ago. So you can check out. There's a time lapse in that if you like time lapses of us working. And then let's see, we did an early spring container ideas.
Oh, that was so fun.
So
yeah,
that was the daffodils. That was the Erisima. That was
the English daisies
and the
Cyclamen.
That was super cool. So we made actually 3 different containers with that. So check that out if you missed that. And then also yesterday was the plant chat for Erisima.
Which unfortunately we got out at 10 o'clock.
So you probably haven't seen it yet.
So we'll kind of, I know we've kept you guys here for an hour, so we're going to kind of move this along.
It's been an hour already?
See,
Doesn't feel like
we could just sit here and talk all day, but we know that some of you probably need to get on with your day, so
that'd be fun.
Let's move on. So announcements. We have a couple things to show you guys, and then a really fun announcement. Well, a couple announcements to share with you. But we recently got a couple new books from our publisher, Porto Homes, who's publishing our book. So we want to show you, this was written by Sue Getz. This is Complete Container Herb Gardening. I'm so excited to read this.
This is awesome. I mean, not only is it container gardening, but it's herb gardening. So, I mean, who doesn't like herbs? I mean, they're tactile. You can smell. They have so many different smells, and then you can use them in your food, preparing different foods.
Oh, I love this.
The really cool thing is that Sue is actually local to us.
I know.
She's actually a Tacoma gardener. So we haven't met her yet, obviously because of the pandemic. But we look forward to meeting Sue and then definitely reading her book.
And that's available on Amazon and probably anywhere else that you usually buy books. Another fun book that we're excited about is No Dig Gardening.
Cool.
No Dig Gardening.
Yep.
This is by Charlie Nardozzi, who's been around for a long time, and this is a really interesting, fun book and offers ideas for how to, create a garden bed without even digging. Yeah.
I think it'll be really interesting to dig into this, especially from no pun intended, and just see how he presents all this and from what filter he presents it, and then looking at it through our filter. And if you pick up the book, what's your filter on this? How do you view all this? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you find it interesting? It sounds like no dig gardening. It almost sounds like less work.
I know, it kind of does. You just layer everything.
Which is nice, because it gives you more time to enjoy stuff.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So one more thing we want to show you. So Sean teased this at the beginning.
Yes.
We love this husband and wife team.
John and Mary.
Who?
Hey guys, if you're watching.
Oh, this is nice. So they sent me a pair of gloves, because these are women's gardening gloves, you guys. I'm going to show you. You're going to love these.
Super awesome. Yeah,
we haven't opened this yet. We haven't. It says, Allison, thank you for the great review. Appreciate your support. Happy Valentine's Day. Your friends in the garden, Mary and Tom.
Thanks, you guys.
So, really cool. So we got to know them last year at the Northwest Flower and Garden Show, which happens every year in Seattle, except for this year, of course, because of COVID. But
we got to interview John, who was there at the show, and he was showcasing. Got you.
Things are fine.
He was showcasing their gloves and some other things that they sell too. And everything's made from natural materials or recycled materials, which is super cool. But their gloves, these are so awesome gloves, guys. There's so many different levels to these gloves. They're beautiful gloves. They're hardy. They're sturdy gloves.
Goat skin leather, right?
Goat skin, yeah. They're goat skin.
Interesting.
And they're padded. Allison loves these because she can go out into the garden and literally grab any plant, do almost anything with these gloves, and it's not going to hurt her hands. I mean, these were specifically made to be tough, to be used in almost anything out in the garden. I mean, really grabbing, rose vines or rose stems, or even blackberry vines. These are awesome.
So one thing, I don't love the goat skin, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, they're very tough and durable. I mean, I really would rather they were more of a synthetic, but those don't last as long.
They don't.
You know, these
They really don't.
I go through gloves really quickly, as does
So
Sean,
do I.
as you probably do too. Another thing for me is I have very long arms and hands, so I want gloves that are gonna fit below my wrist.
Yep.
And I love that they're Velcro, right? I mean, those are great to have. So they keep all the dirt out for the most part. They're flexible. Now, 10% of the proceeds from their products go to breast cancer or to cancer research, but specifically breast cancer. And I don't know if you can see. Let's see. On the front, there's a breast cancer, a pink ribbon. So both Mary and Tom are are cancer survivors, and they want to give back what they can.
Super important to them and to us. So yeah, whenever you buy a pair of their gloves or some of their other products that they have, 10% goes to breast cancer awareness.
Yeah,
So-
they're a great couple. They're kind of like, you know, like Sean and I. They're like a startup, but they have a product, obviously.
Yep.
And
American owned, American
yeah,
run.
and we put these out there so
USA.
you can see. Let me throw one of the.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
I'll throw them up on.
yeah, and so
here so
you know
can
they're
check them
based out of Oregon. I think is it Eugene?
I'm not
it's
sure.
Eugene.
Yeah.
But you
Garden
can
Like a Girl is
yep.
what they're called.
gardenlikeagirl.com, and you go there. They've got a great website, easy to navigate. Look at their gloves because Allison hasn't said this yet, but with that form-fitting, the form-fitting glove itself, and then also how it wraps around any lady's wrist, it's not going to snag. It's not going to get caught because it goes right around your wrist. It's nice and tight, and it fits. They have all these different sizes for ladies, specifically ladies' hands. They engineered these to fit different sizes for ladies' hands and fingers.
And yeah, I also forgot to mention these are specifically the size medium long. So again, they have, like Sean said, the different options for sizes. So
Yeah.
check them out, you guys. We just put the link for Garden Like a Girl in the chat.
Yep.
They're on Instagram. They're just great. We like to support, you know, small companies, especially if they're local to us or just in the U.S. You know, and
US-based
I mean, it doesn't
companies.
have to be U.S., but that's nice.
USA.
So that's fun. So fun books, new gloves. Let us know if you have any questions about any of that stuff. We're going to be digging into these books this weekend.
Yeah, we want to review these.
I'm so
and,
excited
yeah.
to look at both of them.
So-
And other quick announcements, and then we'll let you guys go here. So again, thank you so much for being here. Really quick, I know it's kind of long. Kim Matlock just jumped on in the chat.
Hi,
Good
Kim.
morning to you from Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma.
She is in Alabama.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Says, glad I caught y'all live. Love watching your channel.
Oh,
Yay,
thank you. Kim. Thank you.
Welcome to our Saturday morning live. So, okay, we mentioned a couple more announcements
Yes.
we have.
Yes.
One is, again, our book got pushed back, so it was going to be coming out on March 9th. Actually, let's back this up. Originally, it was coming out on February 9th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it was March 2nd.
Yep.
Then it was March 9th.
Yep.
And now it's April 6th.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Hey,
it happens.
it happens. It's out of our control, and it's just something we're rolling with, as a lot of things in life right now.
Totally, that's
yep.
a good way to put it.
Yep. So, but we wanted to put this up here. Make sure if you haven't seen this yet, definitely pre-order our book on Amazon or other online retailers. If you're looking for other online retailers, go to spokengarden.com/SG books, all one word, and you'll find all sorts of other retailers out there that you can pre-order our book on. And when you pre-order our book before April 6th, now you'll get 2 free bonuses, and we've got those bonuses up there on the screen for you. Make sure you know about those. If you have any questions about, if you have any questions about those and you want more information about either one of those, email us. Let us know, or put it in the comments or chat area on this video, and we'll get right back to you.
And I have to mention, based on what we talked about with all of you guys with the live today and all the interest, we cover both Canna lilies and elephant ears in that bonus number 1. It's a 68-page spring planted bulb guide.
Yep.
We had so much fun creating this stuff.
We did.
This book. It's
completely
an ebook.
new for us. Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, the whole layout and everything, it's easy to navigate. It's a great reference guide, but it gives you the quick and simple information, super fast, and it's got a lot of great pictures in it.
It has some awesome pictures in it.
Yeah. So just making you aware of all that. And so So yeah, so got that going. We've got a couple other announcements too, which is super cool. So because we've got our book coming out, our publisher was able to ask us if we wanted to be speakers at this new online event coming up in basically the middle of March 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's called the Great Grow Along, and you can go to greatgrowalong.com, and it's basically, it's going to be 3 days of different speakers and events online to help new gardeners and even advanced gardeners learn more about gardening. There's people, we're going to be doing the DIY track.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about designing and using plants and that type of thing. But there's all sorts of tracks out there. There's a lady that's going to talk about how to start having your own chickens.
That's so fun.
I mean, and we're going to watch that.
I know,
We're totally
I
because
totally
we want
watch
chickens. So this is something that we're going to be a part of, and we wanted to let you know about it because, not just because we're going to be there, but there's going to be so many different gardeners, garden influencers, educators, all sorts of people that are going to be there that you can learn from, and it's going to be so cool.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
Right now, the whole group this event has a special going on for the rest of February.
Oh yeah.
And I believe tickets are $24.95, but we
Yeah,
need to verify that.
Yeah.
But again, that's for all 3 days of admission, and it's just like Sean already explained everything. I mean,
Yeah.
they even have indoor plants. So if you're more interested in indoor planting, house plants, they have a whole track of nothing but teachers and people talking about house plants.
And there's going to be, not only are you going to be able to watch different speakers give presentations on all these different subjects, but there's going to be areas where you can do live chats with the authors. You're going to be able, or speakers, you're going to be able to do other events. It's just going to be so cool. We're excited about it, and we can't wait.
Beyond excited. Right now, you guys, just to give you a little behind the scenes, we're designing our lesson, basically, that we're going to be talking about, and it will be based on some concepts from our book. So, in fact, that's probably what we're working on part of today.
Yeah, tomorrow, we're going to dig in on that.
We need to dig in on that, because we're going to be getting filmed soon, and I mean, we're so excited to be able to be a part of this, and
to present to you guys and let you know about this huge event. I mean,
it's a big event.
They're expecting up to or more 10 million people.
I mean, this
to
is
be
huge.
a part of this event. It's ginormous.
It's ginormous. They have an Instagram account they just set up. I believe it's just Great Grow Along Event. So at Great Grow Along Event, and that'll lead you right to the website. We just dropped the link to their website, Great Grow Along Event, in the chat.
Check it out.
We'll make sure it's in the description if you're watching this replay.
There's so many good.
There's some amazing
topics
and
speakers and
teachers and it's just gonna be great.
Super cool.
So we wanted to get that in front of you and let you know. We're gonna possibly be doing a giveaway for some tickets to the event. So we'll let you know more about that as soon as we find out from our publisher. But we just want to help get you guys there if you can't, if you're able to.
Yeah.
And just be a part of it because it's a great learning event. We're gonna participate all weekend and watch other people's. Yeah,
we'll be in what they call the green room and a couple other areas like available to talk with people, with anybody during the event at different times. Not only during or after our talk, our presentation, but before and after that. So it's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh.
We'll probably be talking your ear off about this for the next few weeks, so we apologize in advance. But it's just going to be super fun. So details are still emerging. They're still adding new guest speakers and all this kinds of stuff. So
it's a huge event.
So with that, you guys, we covered a lot today.
Yeah, we did.
We kind of pack it in. No wonder we talk over an hour. We talked all about tropical plants, which, so fun, just different ideas, bulbs you can add to your yard, ways to design with them.
It's tip of the iceberg, too, for plant material. We just showed you like 6 different plants. I mean, there's hundreds of plants out there.
So many. In fact, another thing we could throw out there is a book coming out soon that I'm really interested in it's all about tropical plants. If you go on Amazon, I'm forgetting the title right now, but maybe next week we'll share that with you.
Yeah.
But
that'd be awesome.
I believe it's by Marianne Wilburn.
Okay.
So that's coming out, super excited. But so tropical plants, different ideas. What else did we talk about today? We talked about garden updates.
Yep, our garden project updates. We talked about the video roundup, and then Valentine's Day.
Heart-shaped foliage, which is always fun. We showed you a couple new books we're excited about, the gloves. and the Great Grow Along event. So lots and lots of fun things coming up in the gardening world. Everybody's gardening, and a lot of companies are jumping on board because of that. So you're gonna probably start seeing a lot of things as spring approaches, just related to, you know, garden learning and
Totally.
and events online and different things.
It's going to be an exciting spring, without a doubt.
Oh, this is gonna be great. So
well, thanks you guys for being here. We're going to wrap it up.
I know, we gotta get you guys out of here.
Yep, you guys have a great Saturday and weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next week.
I know. Thank you so much for being here, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.